So, hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So, today we'll be starting the topic market structure. In this topic, we'll be studying about perfect competition, monopoly, monopolistic competition, where we'll study competition is your perfect competition plus your monopoly. Some properties are inherited from both of them. Then next we'll study oligopoly competition. So let's start market structure. So in market structure, the first thing that comes to our mind is what is market? Market. Market, or we can say our industry. So what is that? So industry is basically a collection of firms which are supplying products that have some degree of sustainability to the potential buyers. Collection of firms which supply product that have a degree of sustainability to the same potential buyers. So now next, let's understand what is market structure. Market structure are those characteristics of the market that significantly affect the behavior of buyers and sellers. Affects behavior of buyers and sellers. So this is market structure. Market structure can depend on the number and size of how many there are sellers and buyers, the type of the product, the conditions of the entry and exit into the market, or the transparency of information between the buyer and the seller. So let's start with perfect competition. This is our first topic in this unit, that is perfect competition. So what is perfect competition? I'll not be writing about it, I'll be explaining it. So perfect competition means no market power. That is, they are price takers. Price takers, by this I mean they have no changing power. They are forced to sell at the fixed price. Now, in this, there is large numbers of relatively small buyers and sellers. They are standardized products. They have very easy market entry and exit is there in perfect competition, and non-price competition is not possible. Next, we'll be doing monopoly, then monopolistic competition, then oligopoly. So, in this, let's see some examples. Examples are, first example is agricultural products. Second example we can write as financial instruments. And third is your commodities. So these are the examples. So now key assumptions that we take in perfect competition. Let's see on the next slide. So key assumptions. Key assumptions in perfect competition. Right now we are only talking about perfect competition. So first is that firm is a price taker. And second, the firm makes the distinction between short run and long run. Firm makes distinction between short and long run. Additional exemptions include the firm's objective is only to maximize profit. And the firm includes its opportunity cost of operations in its total cost of production. What is opportunity cost? We had studied that earlier. Opportunity cost means the cost that you have foregone. That is your opportunity cost, which we include in your implicit cost. So now we'll see some graphs. Let's see. So first graph, we have two lines. What is this line? This is a demand curve. And what is this line? This is a supply curve. Now, they meet at a point. And here, this is P price and Q quantity. Same here. But here we have a straight line where D is equal to P is equal to MR. This is equal to AR. So in the first case, we can see that this here we are talking about what we known as industry. And in the second graph, we are talking about a perfectly competitive firm. So here we have a point E, and this point E shows where your supply and demand curve intersect each other. So now we have to remember these two graphs. These two graphs are important. We'll be asked questions from here like draw the graph for a perfectly competitive industry or a perfectly competitive firm. So you have to write about the axis is P, Q. For every curve like supply curve, you have to write S, demand curve D. If you are making a straight line, you have to mention these conditions. Otherwise, this graph is of no use. So next, let's study profit maximization. Now for total profit, when we say total profit, we know it is your total revenue, the revenue you have earned minus the total cost incurred. And you know that profit is denoted here by pi symbol. So now, when you differentiate it with respect to Q, that is dTR upon dQ minus dTC upon dQ. What is dTR upon dQ? Your marginal revenue. And in this case, your marginal cost. Assume that to be 0. When we are taking the differentiation, we are taking it as 0. So what do we get is MR is equal to MC. Now we know that price is constant in perfect competition. Therefore, dTR upon dQ will be equal to dPQ upon dR. What is TR? Total revenue. Your price multiplied by quantity. So is equal to P. That means this formula is for what? Marginal revenue. Therefore, your price is equal to MR. And what we can say is P is equal to MR is equal to MC. So this is what we get. So now let's see some graphs here with respect to profit and loss. So now let's see these two graphs. These are two cases in which we see profit and loss. So let's see. In the first graph, as we can see, let's denote it this part where P is equal to MC is your profit maximizing point. Where is P equal to MC? At this point B. So this is your profit maximizing price and your quantity. So at this point, which is I think E, we are getting this point. So this part will be your total revenue. And this part that I'll show this part. This part will be the total cost. Why? Due to average cost. See, this average cost is coming in line with the quantity. So TR minus TC, this part will be your economic profit. Let me erase all of this. So therefore, this part will be your economic profit. And in the second graph, we can see that the P is equal to MC point is somewhere here. And here, so we can see this part is the loss part, the loss. Now, there is one question. So if we have a loss, does that mean that we should shut down the business or the industry? The answer is no. Why? Because here the role of contribution margin is there. So by contribution margin, I mean the fixed cost. The contribution by the fixed cost will always be there. So this is the basic reason due to fixed cost, that is contribution margin. So now next let's see what is shutdown price. So now let's see what is shutdown price. So shutdown price is the lowest price at which a firm could still produce. This point is minimum of the AVC curve. Below this you can't produce. Above shutdown point you can still produce. And please note, there is a very important point that your supply curve start acting as your MC curve. Now, suppose this is your MC curve. So beyond this point, this starts acting like your supply curve. This is an important point to note. Now, when we talk about long run, profit will be there. But in loss, we can say that here the exit is easy. And when we say in long run, you should always remember that in long run we have zero economic profit. Very important point. In long run, irrespective of anything, in long run you will have a zero economic profit. And your pie, zero economic profit, or you can say normal profit, anything. Your pi will be R minus WL minus RK, where this RK part, your capital part, is basically your implicit or the opportunity cost. This part can be used elsewhere. So we had talked about opportunity cost being included in the first part of this lecture. So this is what I was talking about, this portion of the formula. This is your opportunity cost or your implicit cost. So this is all about perfect competition. So now let's start with monopoly. So monopoly market. In this, we have only one firm, and that decides the price. The price maker is the seller and the price taker is the buyer. It faces the entire market demand curve. And we had seen in perfect competition that your price is equal to your MC. When we say in perfect competition, profit maximization. But here remember, P is greater than MC. Very important points. And here there are no such substitutes available. Now we know that your profit is equal to your total revenue minus total cost. And here important point to remember is that your profit maximization point is the point where MR is equal to MC here. Let's understand another concept with an example. Let's say we have Q, P, TR, MR, quantity, price, total revenue, marginal revenue. So quantity 1, price 10, total revenue, price into quantity 10, marginal not as such. Second, let's assume price is 9, so total revenue 18. What is the MR? 8. 3, price 8, total revenue 24, and MR 6. What is the pattern that can be observed here? Here, whereas your total revenue is increasing, we are seeing that your marginal revenue is decreasing. The difference between perfect competition and this is that your MR is not equal to your price. Very important point. Now let's understand the graph. So this is the graph. So let me first draw the graph. Now here let's see this graph. This is the graph where we are seeing this as the demand curve, this part demand curve, and this is your MC. Now when we talk about this graph where we see, let me just highlight it. Yes, so here this is the demand curve, this is your MR, not MC. And this graph that I've highlighted, this line, this is your MC. Now we knew in monopolistic competition P is equal to MC was a profit maximizing point. Where is P equal to MC? MR is equal to MC point. So let's get it down. This is a point A, this is a point C. Now, when we talk about C, what is C here? C is basically your average total cost. And whenever, remember, this will be your quantity. But an important point to remember always is that whenever you have to see the price, you will not see the price through point A. You will see the price always through the demand curve because here it decides the price. The price is not fixed. So you produce it back, and here this is your monopoly price. And this part is your monopoly profit. Monopolistic competitors profit till your ATC point. This part is your profit. So this is the graph that I had to explain. Here, just remember that A is the profit maximizing quantity where it brought down to the x-axis. And we always take the price from the demand curve. And C is the cost at A. So now let's see and understand about social cost of monopoly. So in social cost of monopoly, we also call it as debt weight loss under monopoly. It is basically the loss or the cost to the society paying for the monopoly market structure. We know that MR is equal to MC. Okay, so let's understand this part from graph. It will be more clear. So this is our MC From this point, let's get down two lines. One will be a demand curve line and one will be a MR. So now let's see. So now we know that when we bring down this point, P is equal to MC, will we take point A or point B? P, Q. When we say P is equal to MC, we'll take point B, this point, Q. Now, when we say MR is equal to MC, which point? A. Perfect competition, monopolistic competition. So now when we talk about price for this quantity A, what will it be? Get back to the demand curve and then check the price. This will be a monopolistic price. Now this rectangular part, this is known as your profit. Profit. I hope it would be visible. And by this part, how should I explain? I'll explain it with a pointer. Now let's see. This triangle which you see here, this is the part that is surplus. Your surplus is what? Your willingness minus your actual. That means how many people are willing and minus how many people are actually buying that product. So this part is what they are willing to give. And this point is your actual. So this triangle, whatever is the area inside, is known as your consumer surplus. Let's write this down. Consumer surplus. Let's see the down. Now, can you see this graph? What is this part? This part is known as dead weight loss or your social cost. Let's write that. Social cost. By social cost or dead cost, I mean that either the buying capacity is not there or the product is not worth it or we are going into a loss. Therefore, they could not buy it. This is what is social cost. This area is neither in this part. This is your producer surplus. This is neither in your consumer surplus. Neither is it in your profit area. So that's why it is in none of the area. Therefore, we say dead weight loss. So that is all for today. We studied about perfect competition. We studied about monopolistic market. In our next classes, we'll be studying about more about market structure. So if you have any doubts, feel free to write in the comment section. So if you like the video, do like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Bye bye. Have a great day.